अच्छी फोटो है पर उसमें ज़्यादा हमेगा दिखता है। अच्छा देखिए नहीं फोटो ठीक है।
The photos Neelam and Champa are capturing are part of Step 4 in the Positive Deviance process of a unique pilot initiative to disseminate uncommon practices related to good nutrition outcomes of small children and mothers identified from the community for the community. Sharing these photos in a participatory exhibition is one of the many ways to share uncommon practices with communities in the fourth step of the Positive Deviance process. Neelam and Champa, along with 12 other young girls selected from the villages where these uncommon practices were discovered, are the catalysts of change, opening the portal for potential social behavior change amongst their community. The seed of this participatory photographic process started with the introduction of the Positive Deviance approach.
The Positive Deviance concept has 5 steps. And those 5 steps are that you first identify a problem and a desired outcome. The second step is about identifying the positive deviance, which in our case were families with a well-nourished child. Step number 3 is about discovering uncommon practices, where you're trying to find out through different methods what is uncommon in this family. We visited 23 families in 2 districts, in total in 7 villages in Khandwa and Barwani in Madhya Pradesh. We have found a set of uncommon practices that we then, in step 4, which is about disseminating those uncommon practices, we have used the photography as a tool to disseminate. We felt that would be great to involve adolescent girls in the process of the photography, but also bringing back the pictures with those uncommon practices from the own community members, so that people who are visiting the exhibition can actually really relate to the practices and make sense and see that this is happening in their own context, and they hopefully can then take it up for themselves and are getting inspired by it.
From the community with the community was the strategy that was followed. 2 girls each from these 7 villages were identified with the idea that they will participate in documenting and disseminating the uncommon practices that had been identified through intense research by GIZ and its partners along with the frontline workers. As a first step to involve the adolescent girls in the process, a training was organized to introduce them to the Positive Deviance concept and on observation and photographic skills. And this is where Neelam, Champa and the others played a pivotal role. Through intensive discussions and brainstorming, they understood the concept of positive deviance and were introduced to various positive deviance practices that were discovered in the villages by the research team. Based on this list of positive deviance practices, the adolescent girls wrote down their ideas on how to capture them and presented it to others for feedback and comments. Today is the big day. Neelam, along with Champa, will finally get to implement what they learned from the workshop. Based on the discussions during the workshop, they carry a short list of identified uncommon practices from their villages. Prior to starting the shoot, they discussed and planned with the frontline workers and NGO staff on the best ways to approach a selected family to capture the positive deviance practice. Helping and guiding them in this process is Arul Anand, a professional photographer. He ensured that the girls learn by engaging with the community and applying the knowledge shared during the workshop. Amongst the uncommon practices being documented today is the one where children are given healthy, non-spicy, homemade, nutrient-rich food. Neelam and Champa have identified this family and document this practice using their mobile phones. Some uncommon practices, which may seem simple enough, push against established cultural norms. One such practice is that of the daughter-in-law eating together with the entire family rather than eating last and what is left over. The entire family, the elders, the younger son, the daughter-in-law, their children, gather around to partake in the meals together. This simple act brings greater inclusivity and equality and ensures that she is having access to the same food too.
मतलब जो आज हमने दिन भर जो कैप्चर किया वो हम जो पीटी प्रैक्टिसेस के अंतर्गत जो परिवार नहीं आते हैं उनको दिखाएं कि देखो ये लोग भी सकारात्मक व्यवहारों का पालन करते हैं। यदि आप इनको फॉलो करोगे तो आपको भी ऐसा रिजल्ट मिलेगा और आपके घर का बच्चा जो है वो सुपोषित हो सकता है। आपके बच्चे की स्थिति, बच्चे का स्वास्थ्य और महिला का स्वास्थ्य वो भी ठीक हो सकता है।
All these uncommon practices that we found, they do not require extra resources. It's not that a family needs to have more money or any other assets. It's really about practices that can be done by anyone in the community. So the barrier of taking or adopting it is very low.
The day of the exhibition is finally here, where the photos taken by the participants will be showcased and reflected with the community, a culmination of years of intense action research. This participatory photo exhibition concept is unique as it brings the images of uncommon practices along with quotes from the individuals' homes to the larger community. The place is abuzz with excited energy. Men and women in groups, young men, fathers with child, school children, teachers, government officials, journalists, adolescent girls and boys, people from different walks of life stream into the exhibition. Expert facilitators are at hand to catalyze discussion and reflection around uncommon practices by engaging visitors in conversation and elicit responses. Many are curious, asking questions, engaging. Some are silent, but most have excited conversations, and almost all leave with some thoughts and ideas. Focus group discussions with diverse participants provided a deep dive into selected practices and their adoption in daily routines. Using the Pebble exercise, the various uncommon practice photos were ranked by their perceived importance and doability. The images with most pebbles were discussed in detail. For example, daughter-in-law eats with the rest of the family, or the father learns cooking from his wife. These discussions provided insight into the community's understanding of the issues they face and the changes they would like to bring about.
सबसे अच्छा फोटोग्राफ जहाँ पर मम्मी पापा दादा दादी भाई बहन सब इकट्ठे हैं और खाना खा रहे हैं वो।
वाइफ की मदद करनी चाहिए सभी कामों में और सब खाना वेस्ट नहीं करना चाहिए, सब मिलकर खाना चाहिए और अंडे खाना चाहिए, चिप्स कुरकुरे नहीं खाना चाहिए।
As the day draws to an end, the exhibition is dismantled, packed and ready to be moved to the next location.
We're continuing the process also further. We want to really see in the next steps also how community members are co-creating activities around to disseminate it. Maybe they have other ways in mind what works well in their community. For example, maybe they want to use songs or they want to use some events, some village events where they do street theater performances or what other ideas they have. So we want to go through that process and see what they come up with.
This photo exhibition is one of the many ways uncommon practices are shared with the community. And following from here, the last and final step of the positive deviance process begins, that of implementing uncommon practices and self-monitoring their impact. Tomorrow will be a new day and a new adventure and a new way to inspire the community to adopt uncommon practices to make a better life for themselves and their families.